Oh, hello, this is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Well, I'm coming down to the end of my prep period. As you look into my refrigerator, it looks really empty. I have just a few things left in the refrigerator. You will wonder, so what are you going to do with when you don't have that much to choose from? In fact, that is the time I find it to be really fun, because I'm going to use whatever I have and use my creativity to make something that is interesting. And this is where my fast cooking system comes into place, with flavor chasing, advanced prepping, stir frying, and template-based cooking. I'm not worried about that I'm going to run out of ideas. Okay, this is what I was able to cook from whatever I have left in the refrigerator. So I'm not going to tell you too much about it right now. So let's go into the kitchen and get started. I want to fruit this dish to demonstrate to you the 4 attributes of my fast cooking system, which is flavor chasing, advanced prepping, stir frying, and template-based cooking. And now cooking this dish in many ways is relatively simple, as long as I have the basic technique for how to stir fry in the wok, because the preps are already ready for me to use. However, here I want to show you that I'm always looking for improvement, how to cook my dish both better in taste as well as nutritional wise. Here I want to show you I'm using a new stir fry technique which called water frying. Now broccoli absorbs oil readily. As you can see, the bottom of the wok has no oil at all. Now normally when I cook this dish, I will continue to add more oil because without the oil, the broccoli is going to get burned. However, as you have seen in my other videos, oil is high in calories. So use less amount of oil definitely has an advantage. I learned about this method recently, is that instead of using oil, you use water. The water is basically as a mean to make sure that the bottom of the wok do not get too hot. This will prevent the food from burning, and as long as you stir the content regularly, this will keep the food cooked but not burned. However, when you don't have any oil at the bottom of the wok, the temperature becomes so hot, even you stir rapidly, the food might still burn. So by this time, the broccoli is pretty much cooked. So I'm going to season it with my traditional method, which is using some oyster sauce and followed by some hoisin sauce. This is the template that I use regularly in cook my broccoli. So even though I make small changes in the way how I cook the broccoli, the basic template is still the same. This is the intention of template-based cooking that allow you make modifications but still retain the characteristic of the dish. I add a little bit more water because I want to create a light sauce for the dish. So that is great. I was able to make sure to use the last bit of broccoli that I left from the prep of the previous week. And next comes the flavor chasing part of this meal. Both my wife and I love shrimp. I have a template that I normally would coat the shrimp with cornstarch and pan fry them. So for this meal, I decided I'm going to cook the shrimp with slight modifications. I'm going to make the shrimp into coconut shrimp. So I coat the shrimp with some coconut flakes. Again, you can see how template-based cooking and flavor chasing actually goes hand in hand. With template-based cooking, I have a basic guideline for me to follow, but however with flavor chasing, it gives me the reason to make changes. Well, in this case, because I want to have a coconut flavor to the shrimp, and so that is the rationale for me to make these modifications. So I have cooked the shrimp precisely the way how I like it. I'm now continue and to cook the pork. Again, this is based on template, something that I have done in the past. And the reason I decided to cook the pork because I have some pork that I need to use up. So in this case, it is a matter of necessity. Pork and onion, I have done this many times before, but just the sweet potato is that something that is new. I bought these sweet potatoes nearly 2 months ago for Thanksgiving. I was going to make a sweet potato casserole. However, I never got to use these sweet potatoes, and they have been lingering in the refrigerator. And finally, I decided I'm going to use to cook in this dish. I have never cooked sweet potato like this before, but I have cooked regular potatoes, and I think in general, I know what to do. I cut the sweet potatoes into small chunks so they will be easier and faster to cook. I microwave them for about a minute and a half to soften the texture of the sweet potatoes. And this will allow them to cook much faster. And I did a taste test, and they seem to be ready now. And this provides a clear demonstration of the power of template-based cooking because I can make changes and modifications using the same basic technique. I decided I'm going to season the sweet potatoes like I would season a teriyaki chicken. To give a little bit saltiness to the dish, I'm going to start out with some soy sauce, and then I will follow it with some oyster sauce, and lastly with some hoisin sauce. I'm going to season this as a light teriyaki flavor. And therefore, I am judicious in the amount of different sauces I'm going to add. Now, this dish is a good demonstration of all the 4 different aspects of my fast cooking system come together, with flavor chasing to decide what flavor that I would like, and with advanced prepping because I have everything already prepped, so that's easy for me to do. And then, of course, stir frying, which is the engine that drives the cooking system. And now, lastly, is template-based cooking, that I really don't need a recipe to cook this dish because I already have some idea how this will go. Oh, here, I would like to give you a little tip. You notice that there are some of the sauces and food ingredients burned to the bottom of the wok. You definitely do not want to leave them behind because they are very flavorful. So one way to get those material off the wok into your sauces is to get a water bottle and to deposit water directly on there. And with your wok spatula, you can easily detach them. Well, this is a great way to add flavor to the dish. Besides, it makes the wok much easier to clean afterward. Well, I think you're getting pretty sick and tired of me by telling you why I cook all the ingredients separately for each dish. But I'd love to repeat that again to you one more time, is that you will have much better control of individual ingredients so you can cook to the texture and the flavor exactly how you like them. And then you combine them at the end, because I always want the whole is going to be greater than the sum of the parts. However, if you want to impress your guests, then put them into separate plates, because then you come across that you are providing a free course dinner. When I first start cooking this meal, I really do not think a lot about the nutritional value as well as the caloric content. I know as long as I have some green stuff in there, it will be good enough. But maybe it is a time for us to really take a close look. And so I went to the computer, get out my Excel spreadsheet, and did a quick calculation. Well, I expected this dish is going to be pretty high in calorie, but it's higher than I expected. This is without any rice. It's 1,158 calories. When I add rice, the total calorie jumps to 1,306 calories. And we really did not eat that much rice at all. And this tells you how much calorie that rice does have. And now this list is very useful because it will help me to decide in the future what I should reduce in amount and what I should maybe eliminate completely. The ground pork definitely is a big hog of calories. And I really don't know it contributes that much to the flavor and texture of the dish. So I will either eliminate completely or I will reduce amount drastically. What's surprising to me is that how low calorie sweet potatoes are. And sweet potatoes has great nutrition. So I probably could have added a little bit more sweet potatoes. And I definitely would do that in the future. Another ingredient in this dish caught my attention is the amount of calories in coconut flakes. 187 calories per ounce of coconut flakes. Wow. I don't think I'm going to have much coconut shrimp from now on. We both, however, love the flavor of coconut with the shrimp, so we probably will do that maybe once a month. So this kind of calculation is very helpful because it provides me with some ideas of where the nutrition and calories reside in the dish, so I can enhance one and reduce the other. I know you probably have been tired of hearing me saying this over and over again, that cooking is a compromise between nutrition as well as what you would like to eat. When you ignore nutrition in choosing what you want to eat, the consequence could be really severe. I have so many examples of friends that I have that because of the way how they choose in their food, they ignore the nutritional aspect of what they eat, and the end result is really drastic. And this is the reason why in almost all of my videos, I start to provide nutritional information about the dish that I cook. Ultimately, I think the simple rule is that you should eat whole food. You should also eat food that interests you, because then you will keep eating them. And then you should eat food that is low in calorie. And last but not the least is that eat food with a lot of diverse ingredients. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please click like, subscribe, and share. I'll see you next time.